The Orange County housing market has noticeably slowed down. It hasn't slowed down to the point that we're seeing home prices start to fall, but we are seeing homes taking longer to sell, and we're starting to see more price reductions than would be normal for this time of year. In fact, this is actually the most favorable spring housing market for home buyers since 2019. So in this video, we're going to be discussing why the housing market has slowed down, and we're going to be talking about some things to think about if you're thinking about buying or selling a home this year. I'm Tim Hamilton with StellarQuest Real Estate, and if you are thinking about buying or selling a home and you have any questions that you think I can help you with, feel free to call, text, or email me anytime. You can find all of my personal contact information in the description below. If you enjoy watching this video, I would also appreciate it if you hit the like button below, and please subscribe if you like to stay up to date on the housing market. I want to start out by talking about why the housing market has slowed down this year. And if you've watched my previous videos, you've heard me talk about the mortgage rate lock-in effect, which is what we've been experiencing in the housing market since interest rates started to rise. And the concept is anyone who was able to purchase a home or refinance their mortgage when we had historically low interest rates, at this point they're hesitant to want to make a move, because to do so they would have to give up that extremely low mortgage rate and trade it in for a much higher rate on the home that they purchase. So many people have decided to simply stay put in their current home, and they're waiting to see what's going to happen with mortgage rates. Well, mortgage rates have stayed higher for longer than what most people were originally anticipating. And so now we're starting to see that effect diminish. Many people are starting to come to the realization that mortgage rates may not go back down to those historically low levels. And so they're deciding that if they need more space or they simply want a lifestyle change, that now is the time to go ahead and make a move. So this year we're seeing a lot more new listings come on the market compared to the past couple of years. We have 20% more homes coming on the market this year compared to 2024, and we have 42% more homes coming on the market compared to 2023. Now, since buyer demand is very similar to what it was in those 2 years, the extra homes coming on the market are accumulating, and you can see the active inventory is starting to grow in Orange County. Now, this trend is most likely going to continue, as historically we get the most new listings coming on in the spring and early summer months. So normally inventory peaks sometime in the late summer. And unless mortgage rates drop substantially, this trend is most likely going to continue. To put in perspective exactly how much the housing market has slowed down, we're going to take a look at the expected market time. This is the average number of days it takes for a seller to accept an offer after placing their home on the market. So today we sit at 62 days, which is the slowest start to a spring housing market since 2019. And then looking back, we were at 37 days at the same time last year. So this is a much faster market, a much stronger seller's market, where homes are more likely to sell with multiple offers and above the asking price. And then a couple other things we're looking at is 50% of the homes on the market right now in Orange County have been on the market for over a month, and 27% have been on the market for over 2 months. So you can see that homes are starting to sit a little bit longer. If they're not priced right, then buyers are just gonna, go buy a different home or wait for something better to come on the market. And then lastly, 30% of the homes on the market have reduced their asking price. So this is homes that are coming on overpriced. They're not getting the amount of attention and showings that they should be. They're not receiving offers. And so they're needing to reduce the asking price in order to attract more buyer attention. And so historically, over the past few years, we were not seeing nearly as many price reductions as we are right now. Now we can talk about how to approach the market if you're going to be purchasing a home. When you find a home that you want to write an offer on, it is extremely important to carefully analyze the most recent neighborhood sales and make a determination on how well that home is priced. And really there's 3 basic categories we're going to be talking about. So the home can either be underpriced, priced just right, or overpriced. So a home that is underpriced is most likely still going to sell very quickly. It's probably going to have multiple offers, and there may be a bidding war that pushes the price above the asking price. How far above it goes just really depends on how underpriced it was from the start. Then we have homes that are priced just right. These homes are still probably going to sell quickly. They may get multiple offers, though not as many as an overpriced home. And these homes are probably going to sell somewhere near the asking price. Then you have overpriced homes, and these homes are likely going to sit on the market unless the seller decides to accept an offer under the asking price right out the gate, but that is fairly rare. And these homes are going to sit on the market, and they probably will need to do a price reduction eventually in order to attract buyer attention and get a decent offer. So if you don't know which one of these scenarios you're walking into, you're going to have a hard time finding success. So if, for example, if you're looking at an underpriced home and you don't come with your best initial offer, you may lose the home and may not even be considered in a counteroffer. On the other hand, if you walk into an overpriced home thinking that it's a hot commodity and you write a full price offer, well, you may have just overpaid on that property. So it's really important that you working with a realtor that can help guide you in your decision making and provide you with really good information and neighborhood sales to help you make the right decision. If you're thinking about selling a home, it is becoming more and more important to price the home correctly on day one if you want to get the highest possible selling price. As more homes come on the market and the total number of homes for sale grows, that just means you have more competition as a seller. And buyers in the market are going to be comparing your homes to all of the other homes available for sale. So if they perceive your home as a good deal compared to everybody else's, then they're probably going to write an offer on it. On the other hand, if they think your home is overpriced compared to the other homes on the market, then they're going to go write an offer on something else. And if they don't think something else is a good deal, then they may just decide to wait and see what comes on the market over the next few weeks. Now, it's important to keep in mind that 50% of homes on the market have been on the market for over a month in Orange County. Now, these are homes that were overpriced, and as you can see, they really haven't been able to attract a buyer that's willing to write a good enough offer on the home. If you want to get the highest possible selling price, the best way to do that is to price the home correctly from the start. As a seller, you get the most amount of attention on your home during the first couple weeks that you're on the market. This is when you're going to have the most showings, the most amount of open house traffic, and the best chance of getting multiple offers and creating a little bit of a bidding war that gives you the most amount of leverage in the negotiation. If you miss out on this first couple week window, then you are drastically reducing your chances of receiving multiple offers, and you start to lose leverage in the negotiation. Once a buyer sees that your home has been on the market for over a month, then they're less worried about somebody else coming along and writing a better offer. So they're more likely to maybe not put their best foot forward and see if you're willing to accept something a little bit lower than what you're asking for. And it is also critical when the market slows down to be working with a realtor that invests a lot of time, energy, and money into the marketing of your home. So if you want to learn how we go above and beyond what most realtors do when we market our listings, you can call, text, or email me anytime. You can find all of my contact information in the description below. We just put a listing on in Orange. We had a really great results. Our online marketing reached over 52,000 people, and we ended up with multiple offers and selling it within 7 days of putting it on the market. So it is still possible to get great results in this market. You just have to be aware that you need to price the home according to its fair market value, and you need to be working with a realtor that has a really great marketing plan. If you're interested in learning a little bit more about the housing market in Orange County, just let me know, and I'm more than happy to send you the most recent Orange County housing report by Stephen Thomas. He writes a really great bi-weekly report, and that's where we get most of our information for these market updates. And as I mentioned before, if you enjoyed watching, I would really appreciate it if you hit the like button, and please subscribe if you like to stay up to date on the housing market.